Hey guys, and welcome to A Cast of Salt. Today we have our usual cast. Let's call this the baseline cast.
The dream team.
The dream team.
The cast of power.
The cast of power.
The foundations of this channel, you may say.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see right at the back there. I'm just pointing. I'm gonna just touch his face.
I'm over here.
There's the Rosman. The Rosman is here casting with us today. And we also have, I'm still trying to think of a lovely, flowery way to introduce you. But right now, I've still just got Adam.
He's just Adam.
He's just Adam.
Just Adam.
Damn it.
Here is Adam.
You know him. You either love him or you hate him.
I mean,
Most probably hate him.
one or the other. I'm a pretty binary kind of person like that. Very polarizing.
And kind of leading the intro is Ben.
Hey, how you going?
How you all doing this fine, somewhat warm winter afternoon?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Has been pretty nice today. I'm just recovering from a cold, so I'm a little bit.
We're keeping him to the back to
I'm sort of
He's in the quarantine
contain
zone.
the infection.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight reference. That's the whole game. You're fighting a infection. Anywho, the reason I say that is that's been my week for the last couple of days. Like, I've just been smashing through Hollow Knight.
So you're nearly done, right?
Almost done. I'm like 84% of the way through.
Ooh.
So still a little bit of a ways to go.
Ooh.
I just beat this mantis, the one of the mantis that
The Trader King.
Yes, that's the one.
What's that one?
That's the guy at the top of the Queen's Garden.
Yes.
You
guys have horrible memories.
Yeah, dude, I played that game.
You fight him before you get the other half of the Queen's orb.
Yeah. Isn't that? Did you end up doing
Spoilers, by the way.
that palace thing?
Jeez.
Nearly?
Yeah, I finished that.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the ass. My God.
I showed him.
that was a pain in the ass.
You're getting to the bits of the game that are like, yeah, that's pretty fucking
I
tough.
showed him where it was, and I'm like, yeah, he'll like
And
this.
here you go. I was like,
fun.
these buzzsaws are the devil.
These are the worst.
Like,
So the question is it a tribute to Super Meat Boy, or is it just because they felt like
I
it?
think it's because they felt like
Yeah,
it.
I feel like that they're like the rest of the game is pretty light on platforming. So they're like, we gotta have one bit of the game that's like fuck off hard in the platforming. section.
So
And
the
they're
difference for me with
Here you
other
go, he's
parts
this
is
stupid palace.
you're fighting other things, which is the difficulty. You're hitting things and you're dodging and you're trying to survive, and you're trying to kill this other thing that's making your life a pain in the ass. Whereas this platforming it's just the environment. There's shit all you can do except get through it.
Yeah.
And that is hella frustrating.
Yeah. You just gotta keep dying over and over until you
get through it.
The big I don't know what the right word for it is. Weird thing that I found about the White Palace was that it's got this big sweeping orchestral score. That's just, that's just
And then
great.
it's just
And then yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's got this wonderful music accompaniment, and it's just drowned out by the noise of 10,000 buzzsaws and spears.
Yeah. That noise. By the end of it, I was just, no. So yeah, that's been my week. That's been my fun-filled, frustrating week of just smashing my head against the Switch to try to get through. Having said that, it was fun. The most frustrating parts for me is just a bit of frustration on myself. Is when you're doing the platformer and you're like, shit, I gotta go this, and then to go this, and then do this, and then you die, and then you come back and you're just like, oh, I could have just gone like that. And it's just like, for those listening, I just did a little diagram in my hand about doing a long loop around all these buzzsaws and spears, and then finding out you could have just done one little jump to like cut out half of it. And it's like, well, shit.
Why did I even bother?
But that's part of the fun, though, isn't it? That's part of the exploration.
Yeah, Ben, you're having fun, aren't you?
You're loving every
Sounds like you're
minute
having
of it.
so much fun.
Loved it. Loved that shit. Anywho, that's my little whine about my week. What have you guys been up to? What's exciting in the world of,
Dude, I've been playing Sekiro. I can't complain. Nearly just every time.
How are you finding that?
Why? Why is this so hard?
Have you gotten good?
I've gotten reasonable
I've
enough to
gotten okay.
not like die constantly. Although like I've gotten to the point where you're just like, cool, you've beaten this one boss. Now fight this other boss. I'm just like,
Immediately afterwards. Yeah.
great, thanks. Yep, cool.
I was not ready for
So
this.
yeah, I beat. If have you guys played? Have you guys played it? Okay.
I'm yet to play it.
So
I'll probably steal it off you once you're finished.
I'm not going to play it.
I've beaten a whole bunch of bosses, and I can't remember the last one I beat. Madame Butterfly was this one in the bottom of this pit. It's this old woman, and she has like
You get to beat up an old woman.
Yeah, and she's got kunai, and like she just throws shitloads of
Constantly
kunai at you.
launching kunai at you.
Yeah. She's
I
very
bet you-
fast, and you're like, fuck you.
I feel
You
like
old bitch, stop.
that's where the satisfaction comes from. Not only do you fight off this little ninja lady, but you're beating up this little old lady. Just
Yeah,
full stop.
It's pretty good.
Ruz is looking at
What
me
the
with
fuck
disgust.
what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Ruz is just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nah, I love little old ladies. I'm not going to beat them up. It's okay.
Also beat this dude that was like a horse. There's like horseback. There's like huge samurai on horseback that you got to fight. And, there's some pretty crazy. Like each boss has so much different flavor, so it's a lot of fun. But you always they always fight so vastly differently from each other.
that you don't quite.
And I found out like I think it's also personal preference, but I found that I'm really bad with any boss that is like heavy and slow.
Right.
Because like I get nervous and I I try to out predict when he's gonna go, and I just
and
I'm
you
like
just mistime it
and
completely.
I just miss time, or if you counter and miss 3 times, like you just like keep jamming on the defend button, like it makes your defense worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
So, like I freak out too
And
much. So if it's faster,
defend too much.
if it's faster, I have less time to think.
Yeah.
But when you go slow, I'm just like, oh fuck, when's it coming? And then you just smashes you. And then
big
generally
swing.
the big slow guys, they hit you once and you die. That's it. Like no matter what health you're in, you
So you do what? Are they like the giants from Skyrim? They hit you and you just get ragdolled
get
across the other side of the room.
Actually, the one I just beat was someone I've seen people complain about him was this guy called Seven Spears of Ashina, and he's this kind of like general looking dude, and he has like this huge like
a spiked
staff
club.
with like a staff with a huge spear like that would be like about a foot long spear on the end of it, spearhead, and he just swings it, and like you just go, okay, he's pretty slow, and you think I'm going to just parry it, and you parry it perfectly, and he still does like most of your like posture meter before he breaks you, and then even then, if he gets you and you've kind of been stunned, he launches directly into
Straight
another
away.
attack because he'll know that he'll just fucking
You're done.
and he hits you, and that's it, you're dead. So there's a whole bunch of like movement that you have to do, and then I realized I was dying, and then I looked up a video, and I was like, how the fuck do I do this? And I looked at the video, and I was like, that's a little different to what I was doing, but it's not that much different. I don't understand. And then I ran in and went, fuck it, I'm just going to go hyper offensive and just smash him.
Don't give him a
Try
chance.
to smash the shit out of him and see how much I can interrupt him. And I killed him without having to have a single health. But like
'Cause
you,
just
you guys
wailed
played
on
Dark
him.
Souls, right? So like the Estus Flask is the same mechanic. It's just
Yeah.
like a healing gourd
Yeah.
you drink from. It's exactly the same as an Estus Flask. And I went in with full health, and the time that I killed him, didn't have a single drink. I just went in and just fucking
Wailed on him.
and just murdered him immediately. And I was like, what? That happens all the time. And I'm like, literally hours on them, just like
And then
banging
just
my
try-
fucking
and then you try
head
something
into the
slightly
table. And I was
different.
like, why can't I fucking win? And then it was just like, when you win, it's like you flatten them, and you just
Yeah.
like, I killed them in like 30 seconds, didn't take a hit, and you're just like, what the fuck? why didn't I do that 2 hours ago? But yeah, so yeah, it's good. It's a fun game though. It's good.
Satisfying.
It's like I want to kill everybody involved in the making of this game, but it's fun.
Yeah, but it's fun.
But I'm glad they made it.
But you feel when you get it, you're just like, there's a sense of achievement. Like,
Yeah.
fucking finally, eat my dick. Like,
There you go. All
but
right.
yeah, it's good.
Rosman.
Yeah, all right. So, two games that I was looking forward to came out in the past couple of weeks: Super Mario Maker 2 and Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. So
So that's the
I've-
expansion of the Final Fantasy MMO.
Great.
Which, ironically enough, is our first topic. So how are they?
Well, they're great. Well, I mean, I've put most of my time into Shadowbringers, so I guess we'll cover Mario Maker 2 first because I have the least to say about that.
Okay.
It is Mario Maker.
So I
it
assume
is
that
good.
means it is quite
It's good. It's good. It's
quite
good. You can
And it's
make
on the Switch.
It's good. It's on the Switch. You can make a whole bunch of stuff with it. One thing that I did notice is, the tutorials are kind of they're not great because they're kind of stiff and They're not very interactive, but I don't know who's been doing the writing over at Nintendo, but they're sarcastic as all hell as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, how so? Like, what?
Well, it's like when they're teaching you how to use the reset tool, the reset rocket, as it's called.
Yeah.
The character in the tutorial is like, "Congratulations, you ruined it." So,
That's funny. I like that. Okay, so
so I don't know if that tone continues. I think it does. But
Okay.
yeah. It's the whole thing's very whimsical.
Yeah.
The single player mode's based around you and the Toads have been building a castle for Princess Peach, and the dog accidentally steps on the reset rocket and blows the whole thing up. So now you have to
you're
rebuild.
starting again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So that's like the story mode that they were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So it's not. It doesn't really seem to be that much of an in-depth story.
Yeah,
but
it was always
What was
gonna
it
be-
going to be though? Like,
No, it wasn't.
No,
It was
like,
more of an excuse to string together a bunch of
mechanics.
mechanics to teach you how to continue on and build shit and
Well, so
do things. Which
like,
is what you really wanted though.
again,
You wanted
haven't
a
gotten
teaching material.
haven't gotten that far through it, but what it appears to be is each level in story mode appears to be focused around one specific tool, one specific building block,
Yep.
and
Yep.
just showing you a bunch of stuff that you can do with that.
Okay.
And also a couple of them have gotten kind of creative with the clear conditions. Like one of them, you can't jump or leave the ground.
Right.
You have to finish the entire level
Like just running.
just running
just
along.
running and not falling off a platform either. Like
you have to have contact.
you have to
feet
have contact feet to ground the whole time.
Oh, geez.
Weird.
Find a way to manipulate the environment to get
you.
you where you need to be.
Wow.
Would
yeah.
it would climbing be okay?
No.
So like you might have to make the ground shift underneath you, like kind of. So
Well, it's like
you have to
one-
run
like-
along the
like one of the things you have to do is you have to get I can't remember exactly which enemy
just
it
be like
is, but
platforms as
like
they
an
move.
enemy that bounces to go underneath a bullet bill shooter,
Yeah.
and bounce that up so that you ride it up to the next platform.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funky. I like it.
Cool.
I feel like Mario Maker as a whole, me personally, it was never had anything appealing. Like just building stuff,
Yeah.
like Minecraft and whatnot. Never been that big of a draw to me. But Mario Maker itself was kind of always interesting. But then like introducing this story mode might be a way to like kind of get me
Get
into
you into
it.
building.
And
But the thing
then-
is, though, like I actually saw something recently where someone was like, they had never made. They were huge. They said I played literally hundreds of hours of Mario Maker 1, and
Didn't make a
Mario
single
Maker
stage.
2 was the first time they made a single stage.
Right.
Because but I'm really. It looks like you can do that with Mario Maker 2 as well. You could just play
stages that other
hundreds of
people have
hours
made.
and never ever,
Yeah.
never ever actually
Yeah.
build a stage.
Yeah, like the making is obviously what they want you to be the most invested in, but you don't have to be.
It's an interesting concept because like it's community made stages, right? Like a lot of these games is just like, yeah, hey, here's this tool that you can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now start making and upload your stages, and everyone has access to them.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's not like there's
that's
one
clever.
particular type of stage that tends to dominate the online communities. Like a lot of stages, they're just what people have come up with, and like there's a community of people that make Kaizo like stages that are ridiculously difficult. There's people that make puzzle stages where you've got to string the mechanics together in weird ways to find the exit and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then some of the best ones that I've seen though is the ones where you effectively hold right or hold a direction, and the stage does
The auto
everything
run
for
stages,
you.
yeah.
And it's just like
Which is just like
that's some of the most impressive stuff that I've seen because it's just
I
some of the
appreciate
most clever.
I appreciate the effort that goes into that sort of thing, but I also, I prefer ones that are like are creative, both in the playing and the making.
And the making, yeah. But
Anyway.
for me, who's not too crazy about making, like I like those ones where it's just like I can appreciate the effort that you put into making this,
Yeah.
and I will just appreciate the end result rather than worrying about making it myself. So, it's
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
so watch this space. I'm going to put some more time into this later on when I'm finished with Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringer.
Holy shit, this game is fantastic. I love it. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't know what to say. Other than it's great.
It's great, and I love it.
End.
So
So let's back up a little bit here. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO.
yes,
But it is also a Final Fantasy game. So what makes it different from other MMOs is that it puts quite a lot of emphasis on its story.
yeah,
Right.
And its story is very Final Fantasy. Like if you've enjoyed other games in the series, you'll find yourself pretty at home with this story.
Right.
Like other MMOs that have had a big story component, like Guild Wars 2, something about them just hasn't clicked with me.
yeah.
Whereas this one, because I'm a Final Fantasy fan from way back, I feel very at home in the story. It's not just a matter of it being familiar territory. It's just a style that works for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
fair.
yep.
Yeah.
It as an MMO, it's probably in its gameplay, it's probably most similar to World of Warcraft.
Okay.
But it's got its own spin on things. Without going too into detail, the classes generally tend to have more buttons at max level than the classes in WoW.
Okay.
Right.
But each class can only do one thing. Like in WoW, each class has multiple specializations that change the way it plays.
Right. You can play this class as a tank or as a DPS, as a damage over time,
Correct.
or whatever, or buff or whatever.
Correct. Whereas in Final Fantasy 14, each job is
This is the damage class.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
This is the damage class. This is the magic class.
you're
This
not-
is the
you're
range
not-
class. This is the.
As much as you might want to, you're not going to be playing a gunbreaker as a DPS. It is.
Right.
It is a tank. That is what it does.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that can be a positive or a negative depending on how you feel about MMO design. I actually quite like it because it means that you don't have to worry that much. You don't have to really worry about having to have the correct build, and and
that class is
it just does its own thing, and you can concentrate on finding one that clicks with you, and then mastering its mechanics.
Well, I also think it's funny that like that fits a more Final Fantasy theme, especially with a lot of the Final Fantasy stuff in the game series that have to do with like jobs and that kind of concept. Like Final Fantasy, like instead of having like you have one character that you play, which is the same in this, and you cycle through jobs, which is effectively the specialization or role you want to fill for that party composition, and that's what it is. Like you don't go. So if you want to be the DPS, if you want your character of your 4 characters in a Final Fantasy game to be the DPS, that's the DPS one. You make him, he can be the fighter or the black mage or the warrior or whatever they call it, whatever the big man with the sword is.
Right.
It's like that one. And I want to be the white. This one's going to be the healer, so they're going to be the white mage. Like you know
what's real funny is all the big man with sword classes from Final Fantasy actually ended up tanks.
Yeah, which is weird. But I mean, like the thing is, it's much more like that. The class itself dictates what the role is, and that's always been Final Fantasy. And I kind of like that, the idea that they haven't really dropped that idea when it comes to an MMO.
It's very interesting that you say that because the way it is now is actually almost the direct opposite to the way that it was before it relaunched in 2013.
Right.
In that game, well, in that version of the game, I didn't play it, so this is secondhand info. But in that version of the game,
no one played it. That's why they got taken down and rebooted.
They've redone it.
In that version of the game, like one of the actual compelling things of the game, one of the things that wasn't wrong with it was the way that when you learned a skill from leveling up a class, you could equip it on any class.
Right.
Yeah, so, that's like how Octopath Traveler works.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for like obviously some things are tied to class, but some things are like skills. They are transferable.
Yeah. So I think it was a little underdeveloped, but I don't know. Like that's the thing that that's the most interesting thing that I think came out of the original version, and there was actually some remnants of that still in the game on the 2013 relaunch, but they've since been removed.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, what was I talking about?
Game's good, man.
Game's good. But what?
Okay.
I want to bring more people into it. I want to recommend it to everyone.
Okay, so why?
But here's
everyone
the pitch.
needs to play it.
Okay, but here's the problem.
You can't play Shadowbringers immediately.
We can, but if you do, you won't enjoy it. I believe as much as I have been.
because there's probably a lot of story, and you can just auto advance your character. And you're like, what does any of this fucking mean?
Exactly. The story starts at level 1, and it is one continuous, unbroken story from the start of the game to the current expansion,
which is kind of cool. So, and if you're saying
that is not the way that it works in, say, World of Warcraft, where it's sort of like
jump in the car expansion or whatever.
Yeah, I always
burn in the war tree. Okay, here we go.
It's like,
I guess that's what we're doing.
You joke, but I tell people that want to get into World of Warcraft to just boost a character to whatever the current content is, because you will not get the stories from leveling up,
and quite often you actually get half content because you're like, here's a mission, no one else is doing it. And you're like,
and you just run along doing your own thing.
And it's more sort of like the stories, like the expansion stories, have either been removed from the game or are part of raid content that no one does anymore.
So whatever.
Whereas in 14, they actually make you play through all that stuff.
It's still story,
and they have systems in the game to make sure that content is still populated.
Right.
Great. Okay. Cool. So it's got mechanics to make sure.
That's good.
So if
fantastic.
if you're a single player playing this game, you can
still
go and still do all the story shit, and you will not miss a beat.
Correct.
Okay, so that's a cool selling point for an MMO.
I'd say so. Because you're getting the whole experience. Regardless.
How many hours between? Say, if I bought this, I've never played it before in my life, Carl.
You're starting from day one.
Day one. How far until I get up to where you are now playing?
I think you're looking at over 100 hours.
Okay.
Like, by the time that you get up to this one, they would have released another 3 expansions.
If you committed to it the way that you commit to Octopath Traveler,
that is true.
You'd probably be able to get through it in a couple of months.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess you found your next obsession.
So it's not insurmountable.
Yeah.
But it is.
But the thing is, so you also say 100 hours of content, but in your experience, has all that story content that is still relevant even to new players right now? Would that still be enjoyable for someone to pick up right now?
I believe so.
Yeah. Cool. So then it's still like, I have to get through 100 hours of this bullshit to get to the new thing that everyone loves. It's like, I'm going to get 100 hours of cool shit, and even after 100 hours, I'm still going to get another 30 hours of cool shit.
With the caveat that the first game, like the original 2013 release from level 1 to 50, is by far the weakest.
Okay.
So still enjoyable, just not as good as what the latest.
But still fun, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought it was fun. Your mileage may vary. There is a fair bit of fetch quest padding that shows through at times, unfortunately.
Okay.
In that
is an MMO though. That is every MMO that has ever been released. Like, don't play MMOs if
that's not what you're up for.
Fetch quests.
I played DC Online or something like that. Like,
I played that when it went to free to play.
something like that.
DC Online. I think it was called.
Online, and I could not do that.
And you play your own hero. I actually like that because it was like an actual third. It was actually third person. It wasn't like. It was very different. It was a different style of MMO to like the kind of more top down kind of things. It was like actual third person.
Yeah.
And you'd have actions that you could target people, but your standard attack was straightforward. So you would turn and pivot and shoot.
Yeah. I don't know.
I actually liked it, and then I fell off really fucking hard.
It didn't gel with me.
Anyway, it gets my thumbs up. I haven't finished the main campaign yet, but but what I've seen so far has been extremely enjoyable. I have no reason to believe that it will stop. When I finish the main campaign, I think it'll slow down quite a bit because then you basically just got end game maintenance stuff to do unless you're gonna try and chase the super hardcore stuff, and I'm not really sure. That's for me.
I'm not about that. Ain't about that.
DC Universe Online, you're right.
Yeah.
I also played Star Wars Old Republic, which I was actually considering getting again because it's still free. I was like,
that's the other thing. It's
also fun.
If what I've said interests you, you can play the first 35 levels of the game for free.
For free, really?
For free.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
But
how many hours of content do you think that is? Free content.
That's quite a few.
Quite a few.
Cool.
So that's not like get 3 hours.
No,
like
many hours.
Double-digit hours of free content.
Double-digit hours. Yeah,
cool
for sure.
That's fun.
Very cool.
And well, I mean, actually, that depends on how quickly you blow through it. But if you take your time, level up try out a couple of classes, do some of the side quests rather than do some of the side quests.
Pummel through the
You
main quest.
definitely double-digit hours.
Cool.
Okay.
And with the caveat that you can't, that it comes with some restrictions on chat. But if you're just playing it for the story, that doesn't
Then
really
you're
matter.
probably
at all.
not
Well, that's
chatting
what
to
we're
a lot of
talking about
people
like at the
anyway.
moment. Is like it is a fun Final Fantasy
It's a
story
means
game.
to get into it. It's a means to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people will find the combat a bit dull at low levels before you have your full suite of abilities. And I don't know what to say to that.
Keep playing.
But, like you can keep playing,
Give it a
but
go.
like if it's not like
It's not your thing. It's not your thing.
if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. It is
Yeah.
at the end of the day a WoW-like MMO, and if that's not your bag, then you probably won't enjoy the combat enough to stick it out.
But if you have done that stuff before
Yeah.
and you also do like Final Fantasy,
yeah,
Then you're probably sweet.
okay,
Okay.
that's
so
interesting.
that's my review of that.
So I don't know. I feel hesitant to say that I'm gonna
Do it.
I was talking to Raz about it. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could. And it's like, yeah, so just it's free for the first or whatever, free on PC. I was like, okay, I don't have a PC. I was like, yeah, it's also on PlayStation 4.
Don't have
I
one of
also
them
don't
either.
have a PlayStation 4.
So I heard that they
Uh,
wanted to port it to Xbox One, but apparently Microsoft have a policy that if you have crossplay on Xbox One, you also have to have the ability to turn it off.
like
and
10 watt of the crossplay.
You're like opt out of playing against people that aren't on Xbox,
Right.
And that's kind of a deal breaker for a MMO. You want to have
you want everyone.
your whole
It
player
needs
base.
to- yeah.
Right.
You
Okay.
can't have
Yeah.
an MMO. Oh, you can, but these guys don't want it to be here is this MMO with just Xbox players,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it is everyone else.
And the difficulty. Well, so do PlayStation 4 players play with the PC players?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I know that that's very much not what Sony's about, but I guess Square Enix must have gotten special dispensation.
But the thing is, this game also came out in an era where they were fucking keen on crossplay because they were not the ones in front.
That's correct. The original 2013 release came out on PS3. That's right.
Which when they were like, we need sales by any fucking means necessary, and now they're like,
no, we're good.
now they're on top, and they're
They're
like,
like,
we didn't give a fuck. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Thank you, Carl.
No worries.
That was a good little summary. So for those listening, check it out. Like Carl said, the first section of it is free to play. Whet your appetite. See what you think.
See if you like it.
Yeah.
If it's your gem, play on. Carl has just basically called it the best thing since sliced bread for for the latest release.
I mean,
so you have something amazing to look forward to.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
If it's not your
obviously
jam.
with the caveat that I enjoy MMOs, so it's kind of up my alley. But
Yes.
yeah.
But if it's not up your alley, then it's free. So hey,
You're not losing anything,
not a
right?
big deal.
Only
Exactly
your
right.
hard-earned time.
only your most precious resource.
only the most precious resource we all have finite amount of. That's
All right.
okay.
All right, who wants to bring in the next topic? Because
Oh.
I know shit all about this,
Boy,
and
oh,
this is
boy,
this is
oh,
where
boy.
you guys explain to me what is going on in this
Okay, so this is more recent news.
economics of gaming.
Yeah, and this is more of a PC thing. So I've been learning about a lot of this secondhand as I have been only recently dipping my toe into the water of PC gaming, being part of the master race. But
Please.
he like just dusts his shoulders as I say that.
No,
He's like,
this
excuse me.
newbie.
No, I honestly can't stand this PC Master Race bullshit.
Yeah.
It is. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's like you play whatever you want to
Yeah.
play on whatever you want to play. It
Yeah.
does not matter.
So anyway, so we're gonna talk about G2A and a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Sorry.
Yes.
On that, sorry, I gotta bring it back to that for a second.
Okay,
My
yeah.
graphics
Yeah.
card is dying.
We've
It's
upset
dead.
him.
Oh, we've been seeing
My
it's
graphics
dead.
card is dead. So can I get some Fs in our Discord for my graphics card?
Evan chat, please. Jesus.
Yeah, like when it crashed 3 times when I was trying to write my I'm sick email in the morning, just operating an email client. That's when I felt it was time to pull the plug.
Something's up here.
It dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
So it's like that.
So you're gonna get one of those sick 2070 GTX cards with 8K capacity and ray tracing and
Yeah, so it's like to repair my PC. So to repair my PC, I'm looking at spending like double the amount that you could buy a new console for just on the graphics card. So like
purely on a graphics card.
like
Master Race, indeed.
yeah, so like
Yes.
it's I mean I enjoy the PC platform, but like it's not perfect. Moving on.
The affluence rates.
So, so we're here. We're going to talk about G2A and the general grey market stuff that has been going on, and a lot of the
Question.
yes,
What is G2A?
G2A. So G2A is a key reseller.
Right.
So Carl, you may be able to help me out here if I fuck this up.
Yeah.
But G2A is a key reseller. So I think the more legal way that they would like you to conceptualize this business is say you buy some games on Steam and you buy them as a gift, or you now have these Steam keys you can give out, but you don't want the game yourself. You can put this Steam key onto G2A, and G2A will sell that key,
Right.
and someone else will get that copy of that game.
Right.
It's almost like used game sales, like a secondhand games market,
Yep.
but because in a digital space.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm on point so far.
I think like the original intent was that this sort of sprang up around the time that Humble Bundle was getting traction.
Yeah.
People would buy bundles for a specific game and maybe get dupes that they'd want a way to get rid of.
Yeah,
That's
and they'd be
right.
like, I got keys, I've already bought this game.
I already have
Or
it. I
like
don't
maybe
need...
it was like, I wanted to buy this game for 3 friends, but it came in packs of 4 as the
Yeah.
gift. And
So
I've got
I
a
have
key.
spare.
I want to sell the
wanna
key.
sell it. Okay.
So that is theoretically how they say they run their business.
Right.
Yeah. That's the vision.
That is not
Vision.
what it is, because more than that, it has very much a reputation for, keys falling off the back of trucks.
Right.
Or
Yeah, keys from other regions, keys generated by using fraudulent credit cards,
Right.
identity theft.
Right.
and then
They-
being sold, and then quite often is when those credit cards have been
Cancelled.
Reported or
and then
cancelled or
and
whatever
those
the case
keys
is.
get cancelled, and those keys are duds. Then the people buying those keys, they try and download the game and play the game, and the game doesn't work.
Right.
So you're just like, okay, cool.
Right.
So
This
and
is
then G2A at this point, G2A basically just goes, well, so the policy that we have had, I've been speaking to some of our people in our Discord who have said that they've bought stuff through G2A,
Yep.
and they've always found it fun. They have bought dud keys before,
Hmm.
and the dud keys have then resulted in them. They've gone back to G2A, and G2A has given them their money back.
Reimburse them.
Which, I mean, is good. I also said that is the bare fucking minimum that they should do. Otherwise, it is a scam.
Yeah.
But they will refund you the money. In saying that, though, devs hate G2A.
Right.
Because not only they are not making any money off this at all. Because they're not making any money off the sales of, like resold keys.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
So the thing is, and the weird thing is, because you think like, okay, if I bought a key and I didn't need it, and then I resold it, then they
dev's gotten their money
no,
anyway.
the dev still makes money off the fact that I
initial
bought the key.
purchase, yeah.
But when they're talking about like keys being like generated through fraudulent means, it's effectively to them like you've pirated. They haven't made any money off
Yeah.
this.
I think that's
And then people come to the game developer also go,
And go,
why is
"Hey,
this fucking key
it's
not
not
work?
working."
And then they go, where'd you get it from? They were G2A. And they go, it's a fraudulent key.
There's
Yeah.
your problem, friend.
That right there,
There's
like,
your
that
problem.
right there is kind of the crux of the issue.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, if in a perfect world, if every single key on G2A was obtained through legitimate means,
Yes.
we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Because you are more than welcome. You own the key when you purchase it. You don't own. We don't own the software anymore, boys, but we own the fucking key.
We own the access
We
to
own
the
the
software.
access to the software.
Right.
So if you've bought it, you are in your right to resell that key.
Correct.
That is fine.
That
is not what.
Here's the problem. The problem is basically people get fraudulent keys. They try to use them. They contact support for whichever game it happens to be. It tends to be the fraudulent keys tend to affect indie developers disproportionately.
Right.
This is the thing. It's specifically indie developers that hate G2A because they get disproportionately affected.
Yes.
Like
And they don't have the funds to be able to deal with
your
that
EA,
shit.
your Activision,
They don't give a
Blizzard,
fuck.
your Square Enix, they have departments full of people to say no.
To deal with that.
To tell people to go away.
Computer
you know?
says no.
An indie developer doesn't really have that. You know,
There's a team of 5 dudes, and they made the fucking game themselves.
exactly.
Like,
So any time that they're spending on doing this is time that they're not spending patching the game
Patching
or
and
making
improving the
making
game
the
or-
next one
or making
whatever.
the next one,
Yeah.
and then it's money that they're losing on
Yeah.
that end themselves.
Exactly. So it's like, and so they're it's essentially
So it's costing them twice.
it's essentially entirely negative for them because not only did they not get the money for the key because it was stolen,
Yeah.
they're also losing time, which is money,
Yeah.
Yep.
dealing with the fallout.
Yes.
And also, and a lot of people have even admitted to being like giving proper working keys to consumers as like a customer is always right kind of mentality, because
Yeah.
they're just like, well, because the customer who doesn't know any better, again, they might have just typed in, because here's the thing as well, G2A advertise very heavily on Google. You might type in the name of the game and PC, and some of
you'll
the
get a
first
G2A
links,
link.
the G2A link is sometimes the first link you see
Right.
above the publisher's own website, above Steam.
Yeah.
And
So-
at that point, someone that doesn't know any better, who isn't like a heavy consumer, will just buy that and be like, oh, first link, click,
here
and
we go.
buy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're just like, hey, why the fuck doesn't my code work? My key work?
Yeah.
And then the publisher's like, oh, we'll give you a
Here's a
key.
key. Here's
And
a
to
key.
them, that's like, now we're losing
They've just
keys
lost the game.
because we need to, because they feel like
They have to
need
reimburse
to
the
reimburse
not
or
necessarily.
fix or basically
Yeah.
have good customer service to not soil their image, but to them they're like, it's not our fault in the first place, so we're giving away keys to satisfy customers that either mistakenly or not have bought from an unauthorized reseller.
So
Basically,
people have like I've been aware that G2A is kind of shady for quite some
Right.
time. For quite
they're
some
shady as fuck.
for quite
Yeah.
quite some time now. But you also can't deny, like,
There's
people,
definitely a market for it. Like there's
people want deals.
Yeah.
You know, they want to acquire the games that they want
deals, yep.
at the lowest
At
price
discount
possible.
bargain bottom
discount
prices.
Yes.
So
Cheap.
of course it's going to look appealing
And
when you
people will want that rather than pirating. People would rather pay a little bit of money
Then
than full
not
price,
pay,
but
yeah.
then it'd be like, I don't really feel comfortable with pirating it. directly.
Well, it's not. Yeah. Well, it's like pirating's like pirating's. Oh, geez, pirating's. It's.
Carl has strong feelings about pirating.
Well, it's just such a pain because it's like you're running an unsupported version of the game. You don't get updates. You can't use any online features, any official features. You know, it sort of cuts
Like,
you off. It's
why
sort of,
bother?
it's sort of like
It doesn't give you the experience that you wanted
Yeah.
out of the game
That you
yourself.
wanted out of the game
Exactly.
and that the developers built
Yeah.
for you.
not to mention that in lieu of DRM, a lot of indie games actually have like weird stuff in them that only happens if the game's pirated.
But then it becomes weird because people
Yeah.
want that version of the game as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the reason
Anyway, so the reason this is back in the news is a few indie developers have been taking to Twitter of late and basically saying, if you're going to buy a key off G2A, pirate the game instead.
just fucking pirate it. We're
do
not
it.
making money either way. In fact, we often lose money twice over with this G2A process.
Yeah.
As for the aforementioned stolen key plus us having to fucking help people in the support when they call us angry. We would rather you just fucking pirate
Just
this.
go
so like,
straight
how
up
do we,
pirate.
so like, what do we think about that?
Okay.
That's a pretty big thing to say, right?
That's a huge thing to say. I don't completely agree with it, simply because like I can understand the frustration of the developer.
Yeah, I think
who
that's
was
where it's
just
coming
like,
from, right?
Yeah.
Not so much this is a legitimate strategy for us. It's we hate this. Just screw you.
We would rather you send them out of business
Yeah.
by pirating the game. But in saying that though, before anyone goes, hell yeah, let's start pirating some video games, boys. They said we can do it. The problem is that the government of the country you live in will not accept a screenshot of a tweet of a game developer when you get pinged
For piracy.
They won't. They'll
Yeah.
be like the chance of you potentially like those developers aren't going to be knocking down your door. You know, Time Warner isn't going to be coming after you, being like, "Hey, you fucking pirated our movie."
They might if you pirate Shadow of War.
Well, exactly. But like these are indie developers saying that, so the indie developers themselves are not going to be coming after you for pirating their games if they said, "Well, fuck." Just obviously, the answer to this is just buy the game. If you want to play it, just buy it. It's generally the indie games aren't regular full price $60 to $80 titles.
I see that you're on G2A right now.
Quick question.
Yes.
Yes, I am looking at G2A right now, and there are some pretty sweet deals on this. So there's like Black Ops, like one of the latest Call of Duties, and it was like $12 or something instead of $90-something.
Yeah, isn't that suspicious? Get this game for $12 instead of $90.
But a funny one that I just came across is there's a gift card section, and there was a recommended for you a $10 Google Play gift card from $16 AUD or thereabouts. I'm like, I'm just gonna do some quick conversions in my head. I don't think that pans out.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not sure I'm really getting a sweet deal in this case.
US dollars?
$10.
Yeah. For 16.
For 16 AUD. I mean,
That doesn't seem quite right, does it?
It's not. It's pretty much the same thing,
Yeah.
effectively. Anywho, so looking at this as we're talking, I can see the appeal. Like, as a consumer, I can sweet. I can get.
I am a savvy consumer.
I can get Ark Survival Evolved Global at $16.06 AUD, where it's normally $88.41, or whatever the case is. There's definitely a big appeal to it.
Yeah.
But then you also see, like, where is all this money going? Or it's like, how is it normally $86 and then being sold for $16? Something's clearly not right there.
Yeah, something's misaligned.
And then
why would someone reselling a key that they bought for $80
Yes.
sell it to someone else for
$16?
Yeah. Something's not right here.
Yeah, something is definitely not right. Like, I could imagine me buying one and being like, oh, fuck, I got this extra thing that whatever. And being like, oh, it cost me $10. How about $5 or $6?
Like,
or something like that. And you'd be like,
half
cool.
or most of it back.
Be like, yeah, I
But
would
to
not.
get like 2% back or something ridiculous like that.
No.
It's like,
yeah, it's definitely fishy.
And then G2A itself, I'm curious as to what their business model is as the
they
provider.
take a cut of their sales.
They'd have to. So
They're a middleman. They're a
that
marketplace.
fraction that then adds to that. Okay, what is that seller getting out of
Nothing.
$6?
But they stole a whole bunch of shit with fraudulent credit cards.
Then they're just like,
Then it's nothing.
I'm not losing. It's a win-win here. Yes.
Yeah.
G2A, take half of this because I just anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So G2A are holding fast to their
And they consistently
their
no.
model.
You guys just don't understand our business model. You don't understand it. And then Game Channel's like, okay, then explain to us. And they're like, you just don't understand it, okay?
Okay,
You're
go.
like, they're very obtuse about how they make their money.
Wait. Time out. How would they know that a key is stolen?
Yeah. So
They don't.
So that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
So they're
as
so
But
it's
they
sort of
just don't want to ask questions. They just like, oh, we don't.
They don't. So
They're-
here's
I
the thing.
I have a feeling that they're playing dumb.
Yeah,
Because
no,
because
that's exactly
they
it.
because they have no clue how to solve the problem.
So that's two things to it. They're playing dumb because they have no clue how to deal with it, or if they admit to there's something wrong, then they have to do something about it, and that's gonna be costly. That's gonna take a lot of effort and time, or whatever. Even if they knew how to do it, it's just not an investment that they're ready to make.
Yeah.
So as a business model, G2A makes sense to say, hey, you have these things you want to sell, bring it to us. We help you sell it. The legitimacy
It's like
of it,
eBay.
Exactly. The legitimacy of it, that's where it's like a
But
little
it's like if
bit...
eBay was consistent of couches that I stole from people's houses.
No, but
like that's a different reason.
That's
the thing is though,
Like-
if somebody's selling something on eBay that they don't have, or that's counterfeit, you know, it's sort of like you have recourse on eBay.
Yeah.
But you could, there's also like you can also sometimes just tell just by looking at it, looking at the physical good. you can't tell by looking at a digital key
Yeah.
whether it's legit or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
And so in the instances that the people in our Discord have said that they have bought keys that were busted or duds, and they have got their money back from G2A. And that will make sense from their customer like the customer goes, well, I got my money back, so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
All good, I'm all good. But the thing is, they wouldn't be doing that for every customer.
No.
There'd be a lot of people that just got a dud key and then they go straight to the developer, or they just eat the
lose
dud
out.
key. They
Yeah.
go, oh well, it only cost me $4, I guess. I'm
and
just
not a big deal.
whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's the other aspect of it.
And then and so G2A on the whole, they go, well, we only have to give back a refund every so often. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the fact is of the matter as well, that doesn't address the thing that you might get your key that works, but that key is still a stolen fucking key. And that's why they're like, it's not a black market, but that's why we say it's a grey market. That you're like,
It's
they
a bit
have
shady.
no way of determining whether or not the legitimacy of the goods they are selling.
Yeah.
They have no way.
So, like, I guess I want to tell people to just not buy from G2A.
Don't.
That's exactly what I would say.
Again, we've been having this discussion in our Discord, and there have been varying opinions,
Yeah.
which has been great because that means because everyone in games media at the moment has been like, fuck G2A. So I've been interested to hear from people that use G2A and have had their experiences in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is don't use G2A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally will also not be buying from G2A.
So,
But I would also say, even for the people that have used G2A and intend to continue using G2A, I would encourage you to reconsider using it specifically for indie games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good point. So again,
No one's going to cry if we fucking air, right?
so to my earlier point, I get G2A as a business model. Like, I don't fault them as a business per se. It's whether they're in on the shadiness and they're like intentionally going, hey, look this way, ignore the shady shit that's going on. Then that's where the problem is. But then I would say again, it's an individual basis. As a customer, going in knowing that some shady shit happens there, am I morally okay with that, knowing that there's a chance I'm going to buy something stolen? Me? No. So I won't do it. But if you are, okay. But you going in with some sort of risk, some level of risk going, there's a chance that I'm going to buy this thing for $6, but then it doesn't work.
Like the onus of this kind of thing, because I'm the people, like I'm not blaming the consumers of G2A or the people that go and buy shit on G2A. I think the problem is G2A's because it's their marketplace and they need to ensure the shit that is on there is valid and legal and should be on there.
Yeah.
Like, if people are buying there, like, that's your own moral decision of whether you go to that storefront.
Yeah.
But you might be buying a legitimate key and then you're like, so what? My key was legitimate that I bought. So
what about I've done nothing wrong. So that's where I think the onus is on two fronts. It's on G2A to provide a safe marketplace for people to be able to go, yep, I've come in and I've bought a legitimate thing.
And they know of this problem. Yeah. They know of it.
So there's that onus on them. But as a customer, you going into G2A knowing that
you have to also be okay with that.
Then there's onus on you too.
Yes.
Because you willingly going into that, knowing that this thing is happening, you're effectively feeding it. By going in and buying maybe dud, maybe legitimate, you're giving people that are stealing and putting these dud stuff out on the marketplace a place to go.
Well, it's like if there was no demand for those keys, then they wouldn't be. Yeah, so they wouldn't be there.
That's where I think the onus is on the two fronts. Well, if G2A can lock it down, sweet.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, one of their key defenses has been that if not for us, this activity would still be occurring on some other platform. Or
I get, I agree with that. I do agree that the thing. Listen, people pirate games. People will be reselling keys.
Shitty people are going to do shitty things.
Yeah, and it's not going to stop the tide of people doing this because we don't sell them. However, that is not a defense for G2A to use. No. Because that's the thing of like, well, if someone's got to make the money, why not we?
Might as well be
that
us.
is a fucking scumbag thing to say because you're happy being like, well, if someone's breaking the law, at least it's us because then we get the benefits.
We're the ones profiting from it.
If someone has to profit from it, why not us?
Yeah.
So, which is a shit thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like, there's no defense for that.
I do.
Well, I mean, but the defense is, I like money.
yeah. It's like we have it's like again they're turning 5 years old, and again this is why a lot of things have been coming out
come out
recently.
again. Well, they're doing a 5-year-old sale.
Yeah,
just looking at it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So absolutely, if anything's gonna change, it's on G2A predominantly.
Absolutely.
Like they're the ones that have to take action to. And maybe they don't know what to do. Like you said before.
I wonder, do they even have like the ability for a developer or publisher to contact them and say, we don't want our products to be sold on this platform?
That was something I was curious
But
about.
I don't think that they do
don't
somehow.
because if it's a B2B, if it's like a marketplace,
Yeah.
Again, it was what we said is that if you
Like
bought
you-
a key
you-
legitimately, you own that key, and if
Yeah.
I want to resell that key, that is my right to resell that key. So they can't say where I put that key. The game publisher cannot tell me what I can do with my
with
thing
your
that I
product.
fucking bought from you.
Yeah.
I could
Because
buy
once you
I could
bought
buy
it-
a blender
once
from
it-
Big W and then throw it down a hill. Big W come back and be like, you can't throw that blender down the hill. I fucking bought it. I can do what I want with it.
Is it time for pre-Eulers?
Yeah, like exactly. Like you haven't installed the game yet, so you have not agreed to a contract by purchasing the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right.
So you can't do that.
Yeah, that's.
So-
and I guess that's part of the challenge
This is-
as well,
I
right?
think G2A gets to a point when they're like, do they know? It's like, do they know how to fix it? Maybe, maybe not. Do they want to fix it? Probably not. They're making a whole bunch of money. Why would they want to fix it?
And I think this is why
fixing it doesn't mean they're gonna make less money. Like fixing it just means that whatever is happening on the marketplace is more legit. It may reduce the income.
But they
By
might
a
also
fraction or
become a
percentage or
legitimate
whatever.
marketplace that people will want to sell their games
So
on.
more people will be on it. Like you just
And quite often,
you don't know.
then publishers actually sell
And support
keys,
on it.
sell
Yeah.
their keys directly through that
Again,
platform,
coming back to eBay,
which they actually tried for a while.
coming back to
Yeah.
eBay, the amount of actual retailers that are on eBay now.
is more so than,
Is because-
than individual sellers.
Yes, it's because
Yeah.
they're like, well, eBay is another means for us to sell our shit. Let's get on that.
Yeah, so,
And many people are on
when
there.
you buy from eBay, you're actually buying from a store,
There's a good
usually
chance.
more than an individual person
Correct.
these days, where it was originally envisioned for
Correct.
business, customer to customer selling.
Yes. So in this case, it's a digital good. It effectively needs to go through that same process. It's just a matter of this provider if they're willing to go through the teething pains of getting to that point.
And again,
Money's still green, man. Money's still
Not our money.
not our money.
Not our money. The hundred's green. That's why.
Yeah,
The
okay,
most
yeah.
important dollar.
Yeah.
They got them hundreds.
Yeah.
I just want to say I love our monopoly money as a
Our
country.
colourful monopoly
I
money.
love
Our
our
colourful
monopoly money.
plastic
Especially now that they're putting the like the clear
section
yeah.
into
windows
it.
in them.
It's the best.
We've
We
got
had-
good money.
We had the best notes.
We have good money.
Leave it in your pocket. It's probably gonna be okay.
Also, I just love the fact when people are just like, this is a total random tangent, but like saying like when in America they're like, oh, you've got the Benjamins, like $100, Benjamin Franklin's on it. Australia's equivalent. I don't even know what they call the 100. No, we don't call them that. Like if you have a $50 note, what you have is you have a stack of pineapples. Like have you?
Yeah, because
like,
they're yellow.
because they're yellow.
I've
Yeah,
never heard that.
which is amazing. Like you just like throw around pineapples and you just like $50 notes. I don't know.
There you go.
So yeah,
The more you know.
they're,
okay.
like they're all referenced by color, not by the people on
Let's
them.
let's
Anyway,
let's bring
that
this
is
back
totally
on topic
fucking
for a
tangent,
second.
Yeah.
I feel like there could still potentially be some innovation in the digital space of how to sell
Sell
a
and
product
and resell.
beyond just a key.
Yep.
Like if there's some way that you could digitally package a product so that you could know whether it was legitimate just by looking at
Oh,
it.
well,
Yeah.
Being in the tech
Yeah.
space, there's definitely ways to do it. Like, there's blockchain.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
But there are
Put on blockchain.
there are ways to do it. It's just the effort required.
So we're
to
gonna
make it commonplace.
we're gonna blockchain,
game
keys, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on the blockchain. I'm gonna make my my company public. It loses $3 million every minute.
Yeah.
We went public, and now we're worth $20 billion.
Easy.
Done.
So
And then everybody that games on PC's GPU will be constantly in use verifying the gaming
yeah.
blockchains.
Tracing that chain to verify a consistent.
TM, please, you can't steal this. You cannot steal this ID. It is legitimate.
The point is,
It's ours.
there's definitely way, as opposed to here is this code that is either valid or not valid, and you can generate random codes or steal a credit card and get another code generated. There are definitely means of securing whatever encryption or what, like a million ways to do it. It's just whether the gaming industry is willing to make the what's the word?
The effort, the innovation.
To
It's like the concept of keys works perfectly well until credit card fraud gets involved.
But also legitimately coming back to the recent news as well, so, like kind of ending on this advice, for the love of God, even if the developer says that you can pirate their games, don't pirate their games.
Don't.
Because if the cops, like if you get tracked or pinged by the Australian government for torrenting games, they come to you and go, "Well, I got the what the fuck is this?" And then you're just like, I got a tweet on my phone that said I could do it. That ain't gonna cut shit.
Ain't gonna fly.
Don't pirate stuff.
It ain't gonna fly.
Don't copy that floppy.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
You've seen that one? Have you seen
No,
that?
I haven't. What is
Clearly not.
Oh my God, I've got to show you guys after that.
Okay.
But just to that similar sort of
It
point,
was like an ancient anti-piracy campaign.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All I can remember is that you wouldn't steal a car.
That
Yeah.
was for movie piracy.
Oh, yeah,
but-
yeah. You wouldn't
That's the
download a
best
car.
one. That is, you would download a car.
I
No,
would-
I wouldn't. You fucking idiots.
I would. Are you serious? I would totally
If
download
I
a car.
could. If that was a thing. Anyway, like similar to that last point that Adam just made, though. Like, I'm curious from other people's perspective as well. Yeah, whether jump onto Discord, comment in the video below or whatever. Knowing that this is a situation for G2A as is, knowing that these shady deals are happening, would you jump onto G2A? Like, knowing that you may or may not get a stolen good as opposed to a legitimate one? Is that something that you're okay with? Or is there... Do you think that G2A should be the ones to deal with it? Or is it on an onus on the end user to avoid these sorts of marketplaces and just buy things outright at whatever the cost is? I'm curious to see what other people think in terms of that. So jump onto the Discord, jump onto the comments, let us know what you think.
Let's have a jolly good argument.
let's tell Adam that he's wrong.
I mean, sure.
Just for the hell of it.
Sure.
Anyway, I think we're good. I think we've had our little rant. We've gotten it off our chest.
Good.
This has been quite a therapeutic session for us.
Informative.
You
An
feeling okay,
informative
I'm
discussion.
feeling good.
You're feeling good?
A balanced and nuanced discussion.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all very, very much for listening all the way through to this point. Like I said, if there's anything in particular that we've talked about that you want to weigh in on, feel free to jump into our Discord as our main means of chit-chatting. But you're also free to add a comment into the video or contact us in any way you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
But even beyond this, if there's anything of importance from your perspective that you think is worth bringing up, is a problem in the games industry, in society as a whole, feel free to throw those points at us as well. We're keen to get your opinion on all these fun things that are going on in the world today. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that.
Cool.
Thank you all very much, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys
Bye.
next cast.
Bye.